modeling viewers. It's good old Terry here with a Terry's tip. You ever had a bottle of paint? You can see there's paint in there. You go to open it and nothing comes out. Kind of frustrating, huh? You might be wondering, why did I buy this Mr. Color? Well, you bought it because it's darn good paint, but it does have a strange property, and that is that it tends to go dry in, well, especially out here in the garage where it gets hot. So you can try using the Mr. Leveling Thinner or thinner of your choice. Whatever you try, it's not going to help you. The thinner is going to kind of swirl in there and make stripes, but it's never going to bring that paint back to life. It's just going to be dried out. So what you want to do is you want to get this Mr. Color Replenishing Agent, and let's see if it really works. Okay, first, just to show you that I'm not full of crap and using a different bottle of paint to make this work, you can see this is the same bottle of Mr. Color. You can see there is paint in there, and you can see that when I turn it upside down, I'll do this again so you know I'm not lying to you, nothing comes out. Alright, so I'm going to put it here in plain view, and I'm going to get some of this Mr. Color Replenishing Agent, and I'm going to put it in here. Now if you go to their website, it gives you instructions on how much to use. I've been using this for quite some time, so I know how to do it by eyeball. The instructions might even be on the bottle, I really don't know. But let me get my mixing stick out here, and I'm going to mix this paint up. Still a bit thick. I don't know if you can see that really well, but still quite thick. It's leaving a long string of boogery booger. So let's put a little more in there. Right to about here, huh? And again, try to follow our instructions. You don't want to do the thin it to the consistency of milk stuff. We're not making milk here, we're making paint. So thin it to the consistency of paint. And what I tend to do is I like to run it up on the side of the bottle here, and I want to see it stick a little bit, but not really forever. So I just want to see it come off in drops off of the stick, like so. Let me get that, there you go. It's coming off like it should. No long stringy boogers. And there you got some good paint. Your paint bottle has been saved, and you can see it's all liquidy. Drips right off of the stick, so you've got it like you want it. Now, one last thing I do, and I strongly suggest you do the same, because this could be why it's drying out in your bottle in the first place, is you're going to want to clean the edges on the bottle, you know, the neck. And you can use lacquer thinner for that, but I use the replenishing agent anyway. That way, if I spill any in the bottle, it's something that's supposed to be in there, you know. Because if you let that paint crud up on there, that can be what keeps your bottle from getting a good seal and allowing it to dry out on you. And that's that. Now, you know, never being one to leave well enough alone, let's try to use it for some other applications and see how it works. Okay, so like I said, I find great fun in experimenting with paints and thinners and all kinds of things. So I decided to try this replenisher with other types of paints. And what I have found is that you can also use it with Tamiya acrylics and Tamiya lacquers. You can use it with Mr. Hobby's aqueous. You can use it with Mr. Hobby's super metallics, but not with their Mr. Metal Color. For Mr. Metal Color, I use 99% alcohol to thin that when I'm spraying it, or if I need to do something with it. Frankly, I like the Mr. Metal Color better than the Super Metallics. It's not quite as durable, but it's my preferred metal. But you cannot use the Replenishing Agent by Mr. Color with this. This is alcohol thinned, so I'm going to put that over here so it doesn't get caught up in the mix. Like I said, the Tamiya lacquer thinner, it works in there. Of course, you know it works in Mr. Color. That's what it's made for. But for you enamel people out there, let's find out about this. I'm going to use Tester's old 1163 flat gray. And I'm using this because it's still in production. I'm going to assume, sorry about the camera shaking, I'm going to assume that the Model Master will behave properly. It's just I find it, the Model Master is it's out of production, kind of a collector's thing, and it's better than this enamel. So if it works in here, I would gamble and say it was going to work on the Model Master series as well. I know that the Mr. Leveling Thinner works with the Model Master enamels, and I have yet to try it with this. Maybe later, but for today, let's concentrate on the paint replenisher. So let me shake this up and mix it up and pour it in a cup, and we'll give that a try. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, depending on the point of view, this was pretty thick in the bottle, so I was able to get some pretty good, just thick goo. You can see, if it'll focus for us, it's sticking to the side of the stick. It's looking really thick there. So I'm going to take a little bit of it, of the replenishing agent, and pour it in here. And I'm going to see if this mixes up well, or if it's a fail. I really have no dog in the hunt or anything like that, and I have no idea if it'll work or not. But I'm going to assume that because they're thinner, so versatile, that maybe their replenishing agent will be as well. And it appears to me that it is. It appears to me that it worked. It's not sticking to the side of the stick anymore. You can see it's very, very liquidy again. Now, long term, I don't know if this is going to keep long term or go bad shortly, but apparently it does work with the enamel as well, the enamel paints as well. So, my disclaimer, can't promise long-term results. This is actually the first time I've tried it in there, so apparently it does work. So we know that we can use it for enamel, at least short term. Now mixing within other, I guess we could say, species of paint. I like to make a lot of my own colors when I'm painting, because sometimes Tamiya, well, often Tamiya just doesn't have the color I want, and then I'll get a Mr. Color series color that's right, but I want to vary the tones and do things like that. So I'll add a little of this and that, a little of that, and make my own thing. So what I would do, I'd feel totally comfortable going lacquer to lacquer and using a few drops of it, just a few drops to the mix to kind of keep it. That's just something I do. And I've done a lot of colors that way, and I haven't, it's been about a year since I've bottled them, and they're still great. So lacquer to lacquer seems to work good. What I would caution against is going, say, lacquer to acrylic. Even though to me is very adaptable and you can kind of turn it into a lacquer by using a lacquer thinner, you're using two, how would I say, meat and potatoes of these are different. You know what I mean? So I would stick with lacquer to lacquer. Different brands should be fine. These are very similar. They're both acrylics. So I would mix the two of these, the Tamiya acrylic with the aqueous. And the super metallics, there's really nothing much to mix with those. I sure as hell wouldn't try to mix them with all clad or something like that. All clad comes thin in the bottle, and I don't know what happens when you start doing those. But that's pretty much the wrap up on this stuff. Let me show you the bottle one more time if I can find it. Here it is, Mr. Color Replenishing Agent. Comes in a I don't know how many millis this is, but it comes with these nice Japanese instructions and all the English warnings. So maybe if you're up on your Japanese, it'll tell you how much to use. I don't know, but their website does have an English on it, and they'll tell you how much to mix. That's a good starting point. Then you'll just learn to eyeball it. But I would go out and get some of this, even if you don't use it for the Mr. Colors. It's great for mixing other paints together, and it kind of keeps them just a few drops to your mix, and they tend to come together really nicely. So thanks for watching. I hope this helped you out. Till next time, bye-bye.